I'll give you proofs here that my family received death threats. I won't go into details why, because everything is given in on my YouTube channel, which is here. This is one of the videos. So this is my YouTube channel, and there are almost 150 videos. It will be way more because I'm now uploading everything, some other videos, everything that, I mean, those videos there should be that has some data that are missing, so that should be everything for now. The videos that I upload to date should be everything for now, to have the complete picture of what's happening here. So I'll show here why my members of my family, so my brother and my mother, received death threats. So only brief introduction. So my members, so 3 members of my family, my grandparents and my father, are monstrously murdered. The murderer psychiatric patient is protected because it's all goes back to some politicians. So the closest family of that psychiatric patient, or psych patient I call her in videos, are good friends of one of the closest associate of deceased or murdered ex-president of Yugoslavia and Serbia. I don't know if he was president of Serbia. So Slobodan Milošević. So I'll present here the proofs. So these are Viber messages. So this is my Viber messages of my mother. And what I forgot to mention is that they are not happy with just protecting monstrous murder of 3 members of my family. They want they're working on that. They try to steal. First they tried to steal my whole property. They are now trying to steal 1/3 of my property to give it to her. Although there is a still case in higher instance of prosecution about what happened about those murders, and nobody. It's almost 5 years since I filed that, and nobody is doing anything. Also, you will see from my Twitter account that Interpol is involved, and now even FBI, because it goes to American Embassy. Even FBI ignore me. I will upload that video today. So another things to mention is that they injected something in my eye, and I have 4 eye melanomas. This is one of the worst possible kinds of cancer. Usually ends up with eye extraction. And these doctors, what is the really insane? Those doctors are Russian doctors, and I contacted even Russian embassy because that hospital is ignoring me. So I'm in Serbia, and those doctors are coming here from Russia to trick people. So even Russian embassy ignored me, which is another proof that all those governments are actually not fighting against each other. This is the same gang of criminals. So I'll upload also the video of Skype call with the Russian embassy. So this is what happened before they tried to change ownership, 1/3 of my property, to that monstrous murderer, to give it to her. So a month and something before that, my mother stopped answering my phone calls. So as you can see here, she has 2 accounts. This is my surname. So last time I talked to her was 22nd of January this year, and after that I called her, like as you can see here. So when you have a conversation, you have here the duration. So it was like 15 I called her 15 times, and I also sent her messages. So this is Viber again, and she wouldn't answer. So imagine that your own mother wouldn't answer your calls. So somebody was threatening her life. She's in Italy, and she should be retired, but probably they are blackmailing her with that. So the main goal was to convince me to accept it, to accept that monstrous murder of 3 members of my family should get the part of my property. They tried to steal my whole property in September 2019, but they failed. So my father died. It was the end of December 2018. So the inheritance proceedings should be 60 days after that. So inheritance proceedings were in 28th of February last year. So they were trying everything, they were blackmailing me, but all of that failed, and in the end, so you can see here that on 10th of March this year, I talked to her, and I talked to her because at that time, I have the separate video on that. On that day, major from military police called me. He wanted to talk to me to get to know each other. She wants to meet me and he wanted to basically talk to me I mean, he didn't give any details. When I asked him, does he know what this is all about, he said he doesn't know anything. I don't know, of course, if he lied or not. I will show you now the folder which contains all the data about that. So this is again my channel, and this is one of my videos which contains the link to G Drive. So if I go there, and if I go to VSS folder, so I'm not logged in, this is you can freely access this. So I'll show you his phone number. Let's see, it should be, no, it's in the beginning, I missed it. Yeah, so this is his phone number. So he called me on 10th of March this year, and I haven't recorded the call. I notified the highest instances of prosecution and court and so on, but they did nothing on that. I notified them that he basically threatened me. This is not direct threat, but it's threat. It's threatening somebody when you want to meet him, to get to know each other and so on and so on. While on the other hand, he doesn't know what this is all about. I mean, he said, maybe, I don't know if that's true. And what's also important is that his commander ordered him. So commander from the place where I live, it's called Novi Sad in Serbia, and that commander was told to do that by the headquarters of a Serbian army. So this is the highest instance of institution of Serbian army. So someone, probably the commander of that institution ordered him, because that guy was sort of associate with the NATO headquarters. He was the middleman between NATO and the Serbian army. So of course, right after I finished conversation with him, I called the headquarters, and they told me, imagine this, they told me it was a misunderstanding, that it was a wrong information. So what's important here is what happened next day. So on 11th of March, so right after, so my mother called me, you will see here. So this is my brother then. So this is the first time when she talked to me. But before that, she called me, as you saw. On we talked on 22nd of January. So as you can see, this is her first call from this account, and she called me on 9th of March. So she called me a day before that. She tried to reach me. That major called me, and afterwards I called her. You can see here that I called her. What was the time? Yeah, 2:19 p.m. Something like an hour after that major call. So major, high officer of the military police. And as I said, what is important, why this date is important, is the data in cadastre. This is the geodata containing the properties, geolocation, who is the owner, and so on and so on, ownership. So what's important here is, let me see, where is that data? KN web. Where is it? Yeah, it's actually okay. So you can see here that the day when they changed the ownership to the property is 11th of March. So it's here, 11th of March. So they put some sort of restriction that it's not final decision, but they changed. So as I said, they tried to blackmail me through using my family. They should convince me that their job was to convince me. They threatened. My brother is a priest, Orthodox priest, and Orthodox Christian priest, Orthodox Christianity, actually, to be more precise. It's Orthodox Christianity. So he's a priest, and I'll show you now his actually the messages I exchanged with him. So as you can see, obviously they were using my mother to convince me to leave that alone. But of course I didn't listen to her, and I continued what I've been doing. So I contacted first all domestic, and then afterwards all international institutions, including Interpol, then FBI. FBI recently, last week, ignored me, which is what I wanted. So this is my brother. Now they are trying to starve me because I cannot work, I cannot do anything. I'm a scientist, by the way. So there is my there is a video on my CV. I uploaded with this video. So this is my brother note, and he said, "This is me. This is my nickname. This is how he calls me. He says 2,500 euros. So this is actually this is wrong. It should be 2,200 euros. This is what she owes me, and it's the date. So he wrote this if something goes wrong, so that his family knows what he owns people. It's not just money, some other stuff. So the day when he wrote this note is 25th of February this year. So he said he will return that money, and they're now trying to starve me. So it's not important. It's not enough that they murdered three, actually protecting monstrous murder on my family. They are. It's not enough that they want to steal my property, and it's not enough that I have the worst cancer, one of the worst cancers, eye melanoma. Something is injected in my eye, and that hospital, which is actually hiring Russian doctors from Kaluga. This is one of the most respectable hospitals. So they are ignoring me. Their attorney is ignoring me, and now even Russian embassy is ignoring me. I'll upload videos on that today. So he admitted that he owns me, and he said he will return that to me. So this is his account, and this is the last message I had from him. It's on. It was on June 8th of June this year, and after that, as you can see, he didn't answer. So imagine that you know that your closest family, your brother. I mean, he's the only brother I have, and vice versa. And you know that your brother don't have anything to eat because they are trying everything to destroy me. And imagine that you are ignoring that. So for as I said, it's more than 10. Not 10, but what's the date today? Yeah, almost 20 days. Okay, so let's see, more than if I miss something. Yeah, these are the messages I sent him. So the last message was on 16th of June this year, 2021. And he stopped also answering my calls, and so on and so on. So this is a clear example that they received death threats. And they were of course acting really strange. And not just that, 2 years ago when I started examining what happened to my starting really working hard on this case of my of murders of my family. He before that he was helping me a lot, and then suddenly he stopped. So somebody really scared him. Of course, he was explained that in video Skype calls on my channel. So he was he was blackmailed multiple times. Even once even police called him for some rubbish, and they were harassing him for like 45 minutes there. They were questioning him for no reason. I mean, he's teaching in school, and he's as I said, he's a priest. He never had any fight or something or anything. So this is how system works here, and it's not just here; it's global. So as I said, even Interpol is involved. You can see that in my account. So my Twitter account. So if you go here and about, you will see that I contacted. You go tweets and replies. I don't know if tweets will show it, but tweets and replies will show it definitely. If you go to the bottom, you will see that I contacted Interpol, International Organized Crime. It was July 2000. It's almost 2 years now, 2019. So they did nothing. They simply ignored me. So I'll end video here.